So I had many conversations about Guruji with Swami Parantapa, with the friends that I had come to the center with. And at this point, we were conflicted because we are Africans. We don't know anything about Hinduism. We don't know anything about having a guru. There's a lot of cultism here. There's a lot of questions about, people in religious affiliations. We were getting out of Christianity because we were feeling unfulfilled. So it was quite an experience for me. So then Guruji came for the first time after I got to know about him. And he came in 2021. And I remember when I first saw him with my eyes, I had seen him during online Darszan, but the first time I saw him walking down the aisle going to Darszan, I was wondering, should I bow? Everyone was bowing down and I'm very conflicted about that. And then I decided, you know what? Let me just do everything everyone is doing, because I don't want to be the sore thumb sticking out, standing up straight and everyone is bowing. And as he started to come down, everyone was bowing, and then I bowed. And then at some point I thought, let me look up. And when I looked, the first thing I saw were his feet. I just saw his feet for like 2 seconds, but I just felt a thing that I've never felt in my heart before. And I went for Darszan. The Darszan didn't feel anything, even anything close to what it felt like seeing his feet. So I was very interested, and I came to the center when he was here. And the first interaction that I ever had with him that was one-on-one was when he was enlivening Narasimha, because that's the time the deity was being installed at the center here. And he came from the curtain. I was really at the back, like I was at the corridor, the last person. And he came straight he opened the curtain. It was after he had offered the food, and he opened the curtain, then he came straight to me. And I was first of all stunned, because I didn't know how to receive prasad. And I saw how people are already like putting their hands out. So I copied them. And then he was coming to me with a prasad, and he realized my hands were not the way they're supposed to be. So with one hand, he arranged my hands. And then when my hands were right, he put the prasad. And that experience stuck with me for a long time. And I didn't know why that experience stuck with me. Until a few months later, my life started getting disorganized, like everything started going haywire. And it's only after like my initiation that it hit me that this was a very profound experience. And how it hit me was, I was sleeping. My dad has been sick for a long time. And everything in my life, including my work, my personal life, has not been going the way I had planned. My kids' situation has not been the way I had planned. And I was sleeping in bed and thinking about my life and wondering, what is all this? And then as I'm sleeping in my bed, I get this this memory of him coming from the curtain and him offering me prasad, him organizing my hands. And then I just see the significance of that everything that he's giving me in my life is prasad, including all this mayhem, all this chaos. And that even then, he is the one who's going to help me receive it, because I don't know how to receive it. And a week after that, I listened to a satsang. So I'm in this Telegram group that shares satsangs that are happening at the temples, at SPN especially. And somebody said that there's someone who will only have one experience with Guruji. And that one experience and one interaction will change their life. And that was it for me, because I didn't know then that he was going to come back here again. I didn't know if I was going to be alive to see him again. But that experience told me that that's all you need. Like, however you interact with him, whenever you meet him, that's enough, because it has helped me, it has carried me through this time to understand that whatever he's giving me in my life is prashad. It's his offering, it's his opportunity for me to get back to him, to get back to my true nature. And he is the one who will help me receive it, because I also don't know how to receive his prashad. So there's this time there was online darshan, and I had tried to be on an online darshan before, but it was really difficult, especially if you come in late, because there are so many people and you won't be able to find room. Because back then, it was not as so organized and people were not donating like now. So it was just a link, click to the link and get in. And it was really difficult. So this particular time, I had to meet someone, and I put on an alarm. And when the alarm went off, I was hanging out with this person, and I was like, you know what? I have to attend this thing. And he was very curious. He asked me about it. I told him, yes, there's this spiritual master. He gives online blessing, and all you have to do is look into his eyes. And he was really kind. He was like, you know, if you really want to attend, we were hanging out somewhere where we were in the car, and it was getting dark. So he was like, I could switch on the car light, and you do your thing, and we'll be done. So I switched on, I went online, switched on the car light, and waited, and waited and waited. And meanwhile, as I'm waiting, I am talking to this person, and it sort of took longer, and I was like, let me just switch it off. It was just unthoughtful. Like, I didn't think that it was going to be hard to get in the second time. And I totally forgot about Darshan until time went on, and I was like, please drop me home. And as the person is dropping me home, I look at them, and their eyes look like Guruji's eyes. And I remembered those Darshan, and I was like, let me try again. This time I'm getting up my apartment block, and I switch on, I click on the link, and it went directly. There was no delay, nothing. But then Guruji was talking, and I knew if he's talking, the darshan is over, because he usually does the darshan, goes off, and then people wait a little bit. If he wants to come back, he comes back. So I found him talking to someone, and I'm in my house. It's dark, I haven't switched on the light, and I'm standing there holding my bags and my phone and feeling so disappointed and sad that I missed the darshan just because I was hanging out with someone. Then I heard him say my name. It sounded like my name, but I was like, no, it can't be me. Then I saw a message on the phone, host is asking you to unmute. And I couldn't believe. So I switch on the lights in my house, and I unmute, and I'm screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This was the first time I was talking to Guruji in my whole life. Like, my whole life, I had never had his voice directed at me. And he was like, Jai Gurudev. I was just screaming. I don't even think I answered him. I just said, Guruji, I love you so much. I'm so happy. I felt so sad that I missed the darshan. I'm so glad I didn't miss you. Then he just paused a little bit, and he said, no, you didn't miss the darshan. And instantly I remembered my friend's eyes. And I was like, oh my God, you can't hide. He's everywhere. And if he wants you to have darshan, you'll have darshan, even if it's through some miraculous way. So from that time, I realized he's where I am. Like, it doesn't really matter where I am and what I'm doing. He's where I am. And from that time, I started visualizing him with my mind's eye inside of my heart. And I hadn't told anybody about that until when I was about to be initiated. And Swami Paramahamsa asked me, would you like to be initiated? And I threw the responsibility back to him. I asked him, does he want me to be initiated? And Swami Paramahamsa told me, go to where you usually go to in your heart and ask him that. And I didn't know how Swami knew that, because I had never told anyone that I usually visualize him in my heart, that I go to him in my heart. So I went and I asked him, and Guruji in my heart said, now you're ready to see. He didn't say yes or no, he just told me, now you're ready to see. And that's how I got initiated. So from that time, I have that connection with him in my heart. And when I have something that I need to ask, I go there. Sometimes what I will see there doesn't make sense, and then makes sense a month later. But since my initiation, I joined the pujaris, so I do puja. I also do Atma Kriya Yoga. I was initiated before his last visit. And most importantly, I have seen him answering so many of my prayers just by going back into that place in his asana in my heart. Yeah.